Welcome back to Nation of Glory. Today we bring you the story of a man who has fought his way through every obstacle with heart, determination, and fire. This is the story of Matthew Adams, the Australian powerhouse, the man the world knows as Buddy Matthews, a name that stands for passion, resilience, and evolution. This isn't just a wrestling story, this is a story about never giving up on your dreams no matter where you come from or how many times life knocks you down. Matthew Adams was born on September 26, 1988 in Melbourne, Australia. Growing up in Australia, he wasn't surrounded by the massive wrestling culture of the United States or Japan, but that didn't stop him from dreaming. While kids around him talked about football and cricket, young Matthew was watching wrestling tapes, studying every move, every emotion, every story he could find. He knew deep down that he wanted to be part of that world. He wanted to feel the roar of the crowd. He wanted to tell stories through action, pain, and glory. He began training at a small wrestling school in Australia, working long hours to perfect his craft. His early days were far from glamorous, no big arenas, no bright lights, just dusty rings, sore muscles, and endless effort. But what made him stand out even then was his drive. He wasn't just strong, he was obsessed with becoming better. Every single day he trained until his body couldn't move. He lived wrestling, breathed wrestling, and dreamed wrestling. As he started wrestling locally under the name Buddy Matthews, people began to take notice. His athleticism, his speed, his precision all mixed together to create something special. He could fly like a cruiserweight but hit like a heavyweight. That combination was rare and it got people talking. Soon enough he caught the eye of international scouts, and that opened the door to his next big chapter. After years of fighting on the independent scene, he made his way to the United States, where his career began to take shape. It wasn't easy, new country, new culture, new expectations, but Buddy was ready to prove himself. He started to make waves, showing audiences that he wasn't just another name on the card, he was a future star. He put everything into his matches, leaving fans speechless with every performance. What made Buddy Matthews unique wasn't just his physical talent, it was his storytelling inside the ring. He wasn't the biggest guy, but his heart made him larger than life. Every match felt personal, every move meant something to him, and that energy connected with fans. They saw the fire in his eyes, they felt the hunger in his every step. Years later, Buddy's career would take a huge leap when he joined All Elite Wrestling. Now this was where everything came together. All the years of hard work, the sacrifices, the pain, and the persistence were finally paying off, and now he became part of something powerful, something dark and artistic. The House of Black, alongside Malachi Black, Brody King, and Julia Hart, together they created something more than just a wrestling faction. It was a story about unity through chaos, strength through struggle, and brotherhood through pain. Buddy Matthews fit perfectly into the House of Black because, like them, he had layers. He wasn't just a fighter, he was a thinker, a man who knew that pain was part of growth. His intensity, his emotion, and his in-ring style matched the identity of the group perfectly. They weren't villains, they weren't heroes, they were warriors of balance and shadow. It wasn't long before the House of Black made their mark on AEW, capturing the AEW World Trios Championship. Their chemistry was unmatched, their teamwork perfect. Every time Buddy stepped into the ring, his strikes hit like thunder, his movements were flawless, his precision surgical. Fans could see years of discipline in everything he did. It wasn't just athleticism, it was art. Winning that championship wasn't just another title for Buddy, it was validation. It was proof that every step of his journey had meaning. From the small gyms of Melbourne to the biggest arenas in the world, he had done it. He had become a world champion, and in that moment the boy who dreamed from across the ocean had finally arrived. But Buddy's story isn't just about titles, it's about transformation. It's about how he became more than a wrestler. He became an example of what happens when you refuse to give up even when the world doesn't see you. He had moments of doubt, times where the spotlight wasn't on him, times where people underestimated him, but he never lost faith. He kept working, kept evolving, kept preparing for the moment when the world would notice, and when that moment came, he was ready. What makes Buddy Matthews stand out is the emotional weight he brings into everything he does. When you see him wrestle, you feel his story. He's not just fighting opponents, he's fighting the limits people tried to put on him. He's fighting for the kid in Melbourne who was told that dreams like this were impossible. He's fighting for every fan who believes that if you work hard enough, anything is possible. Outside the ring, Buddy is a quiet man, thoughtful, disciplined, and focused. He trains hard, eats clean, and dedicates himself to his craft. He understands that greatness doesn't come from luck, it comes from commitment and love for what you do. His body is a canvas of tattoos, each one carrying meaning, reminders of his journey and his identity. He lives by the principle that pain and progress are part of the same road. Today, Buddy Matthews stands as one of the most respected performers in the world. His mix of technical mastery, raw power, and emotional depth make him a complete wrestler. He's the kind of performer who doesn't just win matches, he wins hearts. He represents the evolution of wrestling itself, blending old school toughness with modern athleticism and storytelling. And that's the good news for today. Buddy Matthews isn't slowing down. He continues to rise, continues to push boundaries, and continues to inspire people everywhere. He proves that dreams don't have borders, that no matter where you come from, you can stand among the best if you have the will to fight for it. He's a symbol of hope for young wrestlers across Australia and the world, showing them that hard work, patience, and authenticity can take you farther than you ever imagined. His journey reminds us that life is a constant battle between doubt and determination, but when you choose determination, you always win. Buddy chose to believe in himself when no one else did. He chose to keep walking when the road was dark, and now the light he carries shines brighter than ever before. So as we wrap up today's story, remember this: success isn't about how fast you rise, it's about how strong you stay when you fall. It's about showing up every day even when no one's watching. It's about loving what you do so much that quitting never becomes an option. That's the legacy Buddy Matthews is building, not just as a wrestler but as a man. Thank you for joining us today on Nation of Glory for this emotional and powerful journey of Buddy Matthews. If this story inspired you, if it reminded you to keep fighting for your dreams, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with someone who needs motivation. Your support helps us bring more stories of strength, hope, and glory to the world. This was the story of Buddy Matthews, the Australian warrior who turned passion into greatness and dreams into destiny. Thank you for watching Nation of Glory, where we celebrate real stories, real people, and real heart. Until next time, keep believing, keep fighting, and keep shining. See you soon.